Hello and welcome to another Cheeky Scientist blog highlight video. I'm Isaiah Henkel. This week's blog focuses on cover letters and specifically how to find a person's name to send a cover letter directly to, such as a hiring manager or an employer, somebody who works at the company that you want to work for. Now, cover letters in general have lost their importance, and it's something that a lot of people don't even include anymore when they send in their resume. Now, your resume is more important than your cover letter, of course. Getting referrals is more important than your resume. We talk about this a lot at Cheeky Scientist. However, a cover letter can still be a great way to differentiate yourself. If so few people are using cover letters anymore and you send one, it's a great way to differentiate yourself as someone who will go the extra mile. The key here is that you want to send your cover letter to someone specifically. Now, in many cases, your cover letter could just be an email with your resume attached. The key is that email's going specifically to a hiring manager, to someone where you put a name in the actual address bar, not just to whom it may concern, right? It's not something you're sending out generically. It's not something you're sending to info@company name. You want to find a person specifically, send your cover letter along with your resume to them, preferably after receiving a job referral. Now, some ways that you can find a person to send your cover letter and your resume to: number one, call the company. Ask who is responsible for a particular job opening. This might seem difficult because many of us aren't used to getting on the phone and being so direct, but in industry it's normal, so you want to do this. Also, many times on the job posting, the person who's responsible for the job is actually on the job posting. You just didn't read it thoroughly enough. It might be in the right-hand side of the job posting. LinkedIn likes to do this. It might be buried in the job posting on Indeed. Sometimes it's at the bottom. So make sure you're reading it thoroughly. Most importantly, the best way to get the name of the person who's responsible for the job is by setting up informational interviews, by networking, by getting a job referral. So one way you can do this is reaching out to people on LinkedIn who currently work at the company, or preferably reaching out to a connection that you have that is shared with somebody who works at the company, asking for an introduction to that person. It's basically like getting a mini referral before talking to somebody who works at the company. Once you're introduced to somebody who works at the company you want to work for, talk to them for a bit, add value, and then after you add value, maybe ask them to get on the phone for a short informational interview, and then ask them who's in charge of the job that's open. Ask them if they can pass along your resume for you, your resume and your cover letter to that person. Certainly you can ask them for the name of who's in charge of the job, and then you can send an email with your resume or even with a separate cover letter attached. So that's really what's at the heart of this article. I hope you enjoy the article. If you have questions about it or comments, please add a comment to the bottom of the article itself, or you can add a comment to the bottom of this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Until next week, remember your value as a PhD.